G'day. How much do you know about what Captain Cook thought of Aboriginal people? And why isn't that something we know more about? Well, it turns out there's a real reason for that. There's a story in that too. Captain Cook actually had a bit to say about Aboriginal people, and in his trip here to what's now Australia, it was New Holland at that stage, in the start of his journey he had some horrible things to say that really echoed people like William Dampier, those early Dutch explorers that never spent any time with Aboriginal people but came up with their own idea of them being the most miserable people in the world. Cook, however, he has the opportunity to spend a bit of time with Aboriginal people and extraordinarily has a complete turnabout face. His opinions on Aboriginal people change completely. He's wrecked off the coast here, a reef called Endeavour Reef. Behind me's Weary Bay, named Weary Bay because Cook had a hell of a time getting his boat off that reef. And finally gets it floated, takes it up to Cooktown, what's now Cooktown, and spends a bit of time, 48 days in fact, with the Google Yimit there people. And in his journals, he writes something really extraordinary. Listen to this. Far from what I have said of the natives of New Holland, they may appear to some to be the most wretched people upon earth, but in reality, they are far more happier than we Europeans. They live in a tranquility which is not disturbed by the inequality of condition. He admired their lack of concern for superfluous European conveniences, and he called their appearance far from disagreeable and their voices soft and tunable. What's extraordinary about that is that he directly contradicts people like William Dampier. But when it came time to publish his journals back in England, and everyone wanted to read Captain Cook's journals, the publishers took it upon themselves to take any humanising notion Cook had on Aboriginal people out of those journals and replace it with the narrative of the noble savage and all about that discoverer and conqueror of land. But in his original journals, it's all there. Came time to print textbooks for classrooms generations on or centuries on. That sentiment of Cook that's in his original journals, you can go look it up any time, that was completely removed, and it was all about discovery and conquer. So from the very beginning of colonisation, we've been lied to. Cook's notions of Aboriginal people were that they were happier, they were healthier, they were much taller, much better than European counterparts in their way of happiness and health. Back in England, there was still raw sewage in the street. People are dying in their 50s. Aboriginal people were living long, happy, healthy lives. Big populations of people. But the narrative changed because that didn't suit the colonial narrative. And I think that says a lot. And there's a lot we can learn about that in a modern day context. So many people have horrible opinions of Aboriginal people, and I guarantee that none of them have spent any real time. They're just echoing narratives that they've heard off other people, and that sort of becomes the narrative of the day. But as soon as you're forced to spend any serious time with Aboriginal people, that can't be the case. Even in a modern context, you realise they've got the most sophisticated kinship system in the world, phenomenal knowledge of country, law, really sophisticated cultural ideas, and some of the happiest people I've met anywhere in the world. So next time you hear someone saying something horrible about Aboriginal people, maybe pity them that they haven't had the privilege of someone like me. The privilege of a lifetime for me is having spent so much time with Aboriginal people and having learnt so much. You just can't have the same opinion anymore. And Cook knew that. It's about time we all woke up and we all knew that too. Food for thought.